Legion, or Land of Legion TV, shall I say. I'm here today to cast the Legion Invitational, number 1, Mars, with Florencio Starcraft. How are you doing?
How's it going, guys? My name is Florencio, also known as Super Mermaid. I like creative games and gaming my opponents. Some
Absolutely.
salt.
Absolutely. And I note your account is Salt Miner on EU, so I'm sure you get quite a lot of that salty messages online. Just to let you guys know, my name is obviously Game Richie, as I said, GM StarCraft 2 player, Terran playing for Reason Gaming, and we'll be here casting today, ready, and the format as what we can see. We'll send some links in the stream chat. It's best of ones until finals. Now the winner today will take everything, over $200. Now, for a minor tournament, Florencio, that's quite a lot of money, isn't it? It's quite a lot of
That's
money.
a good chunk of change right there.
To put it into perspective, there's a weekly StarCraft 2 GM tournament, and that is for about 10 to 15 euros. And we're getting top 50 players that are joining that, which is absolutely insane. The fact that these players, each one of them have a chance, because as this is a best of one format and we're playing on the standard ladder maps, they're vetoing down to 1. Every player has a chance to cheese, to do something different, or to be a solid macro player. Now let's see today who can take it away. And I just want to note to you the games that we're going to be playing today. So the first game that we have is Savage versus Raiden, and we'll be casting that momentarily, and that is a Z versus P. After that, game 2. Make sure you're writing it down, guys, if you want to listen or hear any of these players, which will be casted in approximately 10 minutes. Quas versus Mathis, Daenerys versus W Shadow, Benjadef versus Asta, Starkiller versus Lightsider, Rainmaker versus Molten, Flicker Wisp versus Viper, and finally we've got Hydra versus Holden. Now please note, if you're here to watch Jim Rising, unfortunately due to time constraints he wasn't able to be here. So I think without further ado, Florencio, I think we should jump into this game.
Let's do this.
I'm
Ready.
my
opponents. Some
Absolutely.
salt. Be interesting. I don't know these
Absolutely.
players,
And
but
your account is Salt Miner
really
on EU,
curious
so
what's gonna happen.
I'm sure you get quite a lot. Okay. Let's make sure the stream is on the game, and here we go. Going to ask of both the players whether they are ready. Race check, just to make sure. Because I think Raiden was a Protoss, what it says online, but he could be playing Zeg. So on this map, on Nightshade, if you were to be playing Protoss, Florencio, how would you approach a series on this map, especially Nightshade itself? Are there any tricky sort of build orders that we know of, especially from a Protoss perspective, just before we get in to the game?
You're talking about like a PBZ?
Yeah, absolutely. How would you approach it?
I normally approach a Zerg in regards to not letting them macro. So I let them breathe. I start off with some type of an aggression like cannon rushing or gateway pressure or pylon blocking to deny the hatchery. You also get the gas, the
Yeah.
secondary gas, just to deny heavy roach ravager potential, heavy muta potential, and you get to see if it's a nidus it's going to be a nidus worm because you could check for a layer tech before the gas dies. So there's from there it's just react to your opponent. Zergs really don't have any air arsenal at the beginning, first 10 minutes, so that's where I'll start.
Brilliant. And you noted a very, very important, a really important statement there. To be aggressive against a Zerg player. I feel that as a Terran player myself, that not letting them breathe and making them make aggressive units instead of drones is probably the best way to go, really, isn't it? Because otherwise they just get out of control.
But you got players that are very comfortable and allowed because of the meta to breathe, and so they're not really used to pressure. If they're used to 70 drones and they're not at 70 drones when we're supposed to be, they get a little panicky. I mean, they can't remax. Because the one thing about Zerg is you don't want them to be able to have enough resources to remax an army that can counter yours that you just battled. That's the strongest thing that a Zerg can do. You could allow justify having that much income that Zerg has. So you gotta watch it with that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And don't forget, guys, as well as watching the stream, there is a match arena that I will link in between each game so that you can help support these players with the code TESTA. That's TESTA, just to help support some of these players in terms of the prize pool that we have today. Now we're just waiting for Raiden to be ready, or Raiden, however you like to pronounce it, to say ready, and we're going to jump into the first game on Nightshade. Now I believe he's a Protoss. I believe we're going to see a Z versus P, but until he comes back, we're looking at a Z versus Z screen. And let me know, guys, in the chat who you are rooting for. There are a lot of players in this tournament. Now the MMR brackets, as we see it, is from 4.9k to 5.5 in this tournament. Now the reason why the MMR is that different, and we'll start the game now because they are both ready. Go. Good luck. Is because it gives everybody, they're around about the level that they don't know everything, but they're around about the level where they're experimenting with some really, really strong builds. And what we should be seeing is some fantastically orchestrated moves and hopefully executions. So hopefully, well, he's a Zerg player, it seems. I thought it was a Protoss, but we shall see. Florencio, if you'd like to introduce the first player, it'd be in the top left, I think we'll jump onto. So
Okay.
let's have a look.
All right, guys. In Nightshade, we have on the top left, a red Zerg player representing Exxon. It is Raiden.
And on the bottom right-hand side, wearing the blue swimming trunks, it is from the Red Dragons, Savage. And it looks to me, both players are going to start to be a little bit cheesy, Florencio. We do see the pull and the gas thrown down from Raiden, but just the pull from Savage. Now,
yeah, let's see what we got.
Now, what that says to me right off the bat is Raiden, with his early gas income, will have speed. Will have speed a lot earlier than Savage. It's now a difference of the Zerglin micro early on. Raiden looks to be going for more of an all-in here. He wants to go for it. Whereas Savage, because he's gone for gasless, has the opportunity to expand because he hasn't got 3 of those workers in the gas.
Yeah, it's the bailings that I would worry about when
Absolutely.
it comes to Raiden. If my pressure doesn't do enough, Raiden's gonna have the bailing potential, and then you're gonna be out of a natural, and he's gonna be able to expand, and that's gonna just trickle it down.
Absolutely, and we do have, obviously Savage is from the UK, and I can remember whether Raiden's from France. I'm not too sure. But remember, guys, let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. This is a Z versus Z, and both players have gone pull first. Let's have a look at the first couple of links going across the map, because that's the only thing really that's happening at the start of this game. We do see Raiden. He does see them. He does see those links.
And we're actually noticing that Savage took a really fast hatchery after that. So there's going to be early pressure, hatchery, and maybe defense.
And it does look like Raiden is getting around with a couple of links here. Savage could be in a little bit of trouble. His speed is halfway done. Bailiness is on the way. You're absolutely right, Florencio. There is a huge lead in terms of the gas. We do see Raiden's links coming in around the side. This is a perfect piece of pressure, but unfortunately someone's lagging here.
Oh.
Game paused.
Oh dear. Not too sure who that's from.
Yeah, it's not showing right now.
I'm okay. I'm on 17.
I'm not seeing anything on my side. Lag.
Have a look. This is literally at the point of winning and losing, guys, because at the moment we do have a queen almost out for Savage, which should help him against these links. But
Raiden.
It is Raiden. We have confirmed it is Raiden. He is completely red screened on us because he is a red player. Just waiting for him to check himself. Okay, so it looks like they're going to sort them out. Brilliant.
Here we go.
And back at the most critical point of this game, we do see the links coming inside the natural from Raiden. We do see a lot of links going down here. Savage is doing a lot of damage at this top position. Florencio, who do you have your who would you have your money on in this one?
Right now, I'd say Savage is in a really good position. As a queen, getting a spine crawler has already the secondary hatchery, which is going to give you more larva. And right now, Raiden's punch was not very good. The gas is not going to be too much for the Bailings. So as long as he could just deny the Bailings from doing damage, he can hold and go into roaches.
Oh, Raiden, instead of commenting in the game, he should be focusing on his units. The spine crawler is just about to be finished, and the Queen's in a great position here, and the Bailings are coming around the side. The spine crawler needs to finish. Spine crawler goes down.
All the Bailings are on the spine crawler. That's not good. It went on the drones.
Oh my God, Raiden is in huge amount of trouble here. I think he could have already lost this game. Savage, in fact, getting completely countered at the start of this game. Unfortunate lag for Raiden. He does continue to type instead of playing the game. Remember, guys, when you're in a game, you must make sure that you continue the fight.
Yeah, he's typing faster than he is playing.
But we do have more workers for Raiden here. Now, that's very, very interesting. So the income-wise is going to be slightly ahead. So, oh my God, Savage could end up throwing here. There's not a lot of lings here. Oh, dear. Not a lot of lings at all. He needs a second queen up as soon as he can. There's a lot of lings coming around this side of the map. 2 drones are being made here. I think Savage is in a huge amount of trouble again because he's going to have Banelings and Savage can't really do anything. There's no spine crawler, no queens. He's just got to hope he has more lings.
Yeah, Savage is definitely in a really good position right now. I don't see how Raiden's going to take this. Not taking another hatchery at the moment either. This is going to be an all-in.
Oh my God. And lings are going to go across the map. They're slow lings. They're going to get taken up one by one. Raiden is actually going to start getting ahead in this game because he's just going to go into the main base here. Ling speed is still not done for Savage. I mean, Savage is going to kill the main, but this is going to be quite a small sort of base race here. And I don't know Savage is going to hold this. I don't know Raiden's going to hold this.
There's no spine crawler.
A complete base race here. I think Savage is in a lot of trouble. Oh, he doesn't want to lose all these units. Oh my God.
Oh no.
GG comes down on Raiden.
Wow. So we forgot the spine crawler.
Cheeses on game 1. Wow. I'll tell you what, even with the lag, it was a complete build order counter, unfortunately, for the likes of Savage there. That was really, really unlucky. He really unlucky.
Got the spine crawler up, and then he lost it to the Baileys and didn't make another spine crawler. That's just so.
I mean, he probably thought he would have held that because Raiden was commenting that he was probably really upset that he lost that many lings, and that must have got him a little bit confident here.
It's better to just be defensive if you know you're ahead, though.
Absolutely, but that second overlord was still not over that natural, and you saw Savage. I can see it right in the stream now as we're like 2 minutes behind. Savage still didn't know whether that expansion had been taken and whether gas had been taken early until speed was done, and then he continually kept on making those links. And it just goes to show you guys, in a best of 1 series like this, that is it. It's as cutthroat as that. You lose a game, you're out of this tournament. And unfortunately, Savage taken out in round 1 by a counter cheese. That's the only way you can describe it. What a great game. Yeah. What a great game to start.
Get on 1 base.
What a great game to start that series off. Now what you're thinking of, especially with the Zerg players in your chat, you're thinking, well, how would you hold that if you're in Savage's position? There's many ways. Getting the spine crawler was one. He held the initial push, which was really, really good. He was then behind in drone count. He needed to make sure he had that second queen up, but at the same time he needed to make lings. So you're in a bit of a predicament.
Yeah, keep making lings was the next thing. It was the most simplest thing you could do at the moment. Got the advantage. Has a larva. All you had to do is hit that ling button.
Absolutely. And right now we do have 1 fallen hero. 4 red dragons, but we do have another red dragon that's participating in this tournament. That is Rainmaker. He'll be playing Molten later on today. But the next match we have is Quas versus Mathis or Denery versus W Shadow. Now, if Mathis isn't online, but Quas is, let's have a look. Can't see whether Quaz is in the chat. I can imagine they're probably Discord messaging me right now with last minute questions when they should be looking on the Legion Invitational Discord chat. So if you're in the chat, guys, jump onto Legion Discord chat. You'll be able to see what EU channel you're meant to be part of. Is White Shadow in the chat? I can't quite see him there. Can't quite see him there at all. What I need from some of the admins, guys, especially from Dave and Greg, is just to see where these players are just for this moment.
What's this next matchup?
So this potential next matchup that we have is another Z versus Z. This is, well, the top of the bracket is stacked with Z versus Z, which is Quaz versus Mathis. Both of them extremely aggressive players, as we've seen in the last game. And as it's a best of one Florencio, I can imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of pull first. I can't imagine that anybody is going to try. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then after that, we have a T versus P. So that's in our realm. That's going to be a little bit easier for us to cast in terms of exactly what the other players should be doing. But if you're playing a Terran in a tournament, Florencio, is there a specific way that you would train up to that point in the game? How would you prepare for someone? Would you look at their build orders? How would you go about doing that? Just out of curiosity.
Well, like you said, right? If it's the first game is a best of one, so you'd have to do some type of pressure build. I would say don't risk it, or know your opponent and understand what the potential rush they could do, deny it to be able to get that easy win on the fall. But I'd probably do a pressure build and just make sure my timing is really good and I don't miss a beat.
Good. Well, brilliant. No, well, making sure you don't miss a beat. So execution would be what you'd work for. So picking a build and then executing.
You don't have to rely on him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds about right. Guys in the chat, what would you do if you were preparing for a tournament like this? A tournament where you could literally cheese to the end, you could play solidly for the end. How would you approach this game? This caster definitely has no pants on. Callum, you know me very well. You know I don't have any pants on. Okay. Yes, that is absolutely correct. I don't know how you saw that.
Prepare for everything.
So Florencio, what's your philosophy of the game? How are you doing in StarCraft 2? What are your aspirations? What do you want to do with it? Just while we have this downtime.
I've always liked to improve as a player, so I always look at myself as how can I get better than myself from last week or the month ago. I like to explore the game. I like to have no borders. So if it sounds crazy, do it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, sometimes some mistakes lead you to new opportunities. Let's just say sometimes you do a build that doesn't work, and you're like, wait, I could do this because this is happening, and you wouldn't have seen it if you would have tried it. So I'm just definitely a person of just build time strategy. Have a game plan, but not really a game plan. But your game plan is literally observe and understand your opponent and what he's doing.
I see. Okay, so more of a reactionary play, would you say? So you'd have a build order and you'd react to what your opponent is doing. That's actually quite a Zerg way of thinking about things. It's quite a Zerg.
Like a Terran, a Zerg, and a Protoss all in one.
Okay.
True, I don't warp gate, so I play like a Terran. I react to my opponent's compositions like a Zerg, and I cheese like a Protoss.
So we do have Mathis in the chat. We're just waiting for our next player. If we still don't get the next player, I'm literally going to pick one of the series that we've got in that first round, guys, because we don't want you sitting around too soon. We've got a lot of games to get through. So if I do see two players in the chat that are ready, potentially Molten and Rain, we could have them. That's another TVP to get away from that Zerg versus Zerg, as we always tend to see in a lot of tournaments. So let's have a look. Do we have Mathis in the chat and Quas? I believe we do have them both in the chat. Mathis and Quas, could you do your vetoes to one map? So, guys, just to let you guys know at first, Legion or Land of Legion TV, Flo is really quiet. Okay, we'll pop him back up.
Right.
We'll
Okay.
pop him back up. That's okay. We'll pop you back up. They said to turn my mic up, and now when I've turned my mic up, I think you're too low. So how about that? So do you want to just say 1, 2, 3, Florencio?
Hello, 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Cheese, cheese, cheese. Copy.
Green Ultralist says in the chat, bro, as long as I do better than I do at Monaco, then we're good, Richie. That's a reference to a Formula 1 game where he completely got destroyed. Completely got destroyed.
Like I thought it was a racing game.
Is that Gamer Richie or Elon Musk? Because damn, he's close to Mars. Damn right. I'm the closest person at the moment. Doing vetoes now. So, brilliant. So we've got another ZVZ. And the next match after that, and I'd like the admins to have a look at, is Denery versus W Shadow. I believe he's still online, but to get those vetoes ready and done. So Denery or anybody in the chat from The Art of Warfare, get on Denery to get those vetoes done. Brilliant. Now we're in this chat, in this party. I'm going to get you in there as well. Okay.
Here we go. Let's do this. You're a Protoss player or a Terran player?
Terran player, stim and win, baby. That's the motto. That's the motto.
Win. Oh man. First time I heard that one.
Blind Seer, which is Colin, said in the chat, he's practiced for this tournament by playing Fortnite and with Silent Ghost. Both of them will not help you win this. However, I wish you the best of luck. Richie looks like he voted Brexit. Bum is easy. Thank you very much for that. Really, really appreciate it.
That's good stuff.
That's really good. Game Richie looks like he kicks ass and well, I won't say that. I won't say that, Shadow. But we do what we do. We do what we do in life. And as we're Terran players, we are the most prestigious and snowflakey kind of players in the world. We do get offended by absolutely everything that Zerg and Protoss do. There isn't anything extra out of the ordinary. That is for sure.
Let me see. Is my voice louder now or?
Yeah, this
same. It's still faint.
That's a good point. Chat is. Can you hear Florencio now? Is he no longer silent? Is he no longer being oppressed by Gamer Richie here? I played a game versus Silent Ghost and lost on my build like 10 minutes ago. Brilliant. That's good confidence, Colin. I'm glad you've come and participated in this tournament. Okay, now we veto down to one map left, I believe. Brilliant. So we're almost there. We're almost there, guys. Just to give you a brief indication of what's going on, guys, as I see a couple more people have entered into the chat for Florencio Stream and for Land of Legion TV. This is an invitational tournament with best of ones until finals. Then that means it's completely cutthroat. And Florencio can appreciate himself. You've got one game to win. You've got one game to win or you're knocked out. What do you think? What are your thoughts on the format, Florencio? What do you think that sort of breeds into a tournament like this?
It's just a one-hit kill. It's gotta cheese, like you say. I'd probably cannon rush, or if not cannon rush, I'd probably do something very like aggressive, like a warp gate rush. If I'm not going forge, if I'm going forge, I'm going cannon rush. If I'm going side, I'm going for like a 4 gate or like a 5 gate, whatever it is, to be a very aggressive. Hopefully, my opponent does go for that expansion, and then I catch him off guard. Probably how I play it, but I would send a worker pylon scout, even if I'm going gateway.
So you would in every game actively send that early worker scout across the map just to check with your opponent's not doing anything cheeky to get ahead of you. Is that what you do?
I'm a believer of a pylon scout. So much a person that does pylon scout will only know the information that what a gateway scouter would not know, because gateway scouters don't pylon scout. You can get a lot of information with pylon scout in all 3 races. You can tell when a Protoss is going for a 4-gate proxy or a 2-gate proxy. You can tell when someone's going forge. cannon rush. You can tell when a Zerg's going for a pull first. You can tell when a Terran player is going for a proxy. There's so much information, and so I'd probably take that as my first identification of what my opponent's doing, because I don't know these players. I'd rather play it safe.
No, absolutely. And what I think we'll try and do is we'll try and do maybe an EU and an NA maybe type scenario where we can go to your side, your neighbourhood in that effect. And for maybe if there is going to be a next invitational with a lot of players similar to this, and maybe even higher up to 6K, what we could do is start to, you could have a maybe chance to speak with Pig, get some 6K players in, and you'll definitely have an idea of what they like to do. That's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely study the arts of the craft.
I believe. No, I'm not so familiar with it. But are you called the Sewer Mermaid? If I'm not now, why is that? Why are you called the Sewer Mermaid?
Pig calls me the Sewer Mermaid because I'm a type of player that likes to drag you, who are not comfortable with unconventional play style, like the dirt type of play, and drag you into the mud and make you feel uncomfortable. So I cheese the hell out of you. I put you into situations that you're not really used to. You tend to break down. I like to break down a player. I don't like to beat a player. I like to break them down mentally.
And talking of that, Z versus Z is a perfect example of breaking someone's, morale in some respect. On the top left, Florencio, do you want to start us off?
The top left, Zerg player. The purple, representing Berserker?
Berserker.
I don't know. Berserker. It's Epitaph. Yeah, one thing
AKA Quas. AKA Quas. NA Zerg player between 5k, 5.2k. On the bottom right hand side. From the Drunken Outlaws, it is in the blue sunglasses. Give it up for Mattis. Or Mattis, however you like to pronounce it. So another Z versus Z. And we see hatcheries first. These guys are completely different to the other guys. They're just going to say, right, we're just going to play standard. We're not into that. We're not into the cheese.
Athos is looking for the scout though. Keeping it. I think he has to. I think as a Zerg player, it's really good to, if you're going for a hatch first, you gotta identify, is it going to be a pull first? Am I gonna have to cancel or not? But then again, he also says, what can I do with this drone now that I do scout just to make it worth it? So he's going to be denying the gas. So this is really good. Going for a hatchery, going for the macro, but keeping it safe by identifying, is it going to be pull first where I have to watch out? But at the same time, what can I do with this drone to be a butthead?
Interesting. So he, as you said, he's opted to go for this extractor, and look how much time it's taken for these drones to go onto the hatchery, and the second gas is being made. Now Mattis has scouted this, so he sees his second gas. This is actually quite a great play. As you've mentioned, he's got a lot of vision here, even from that literally waste of a scout that he had with both of them going hatchery first. It's actually turned out quite well for Mattis, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 7 minutes. He's losing about 2 seconds per gas mining time per cycle right now with that movement. So that does take hits when you're trying to worry about like a ling rush or a bailing ling or just more roaches. Let's see what they're gonna do though.
And we do, just looking at Mattis' vision, he just see now this is a great overlord position. That's over the ramp of Epitaph from Mattis, because he can see whether it's drones or lings being made here. So we do see. Let's have a look.
Both spots. He's taking care of both areas of potential. The hatchery when he's taking the third, or when they're running by, and when the roaches are coming, if that's the case. I do like the Evo chamber. Once it dies, you're gonna be able to kill at least maybe 1 or 2 drones if you're a really good micro. But we'll see what happens.
Let's turn that down. Let's turn that overall game music down. And as we can see, the Queens are attacking this evolution chamber, and they spawn the broodlings, don't they? So they can actually kill a couple of workers, as you probably noted as well, Florencio. But
not just workers. It's also just how drones they're almost gonna mine a mineral, and all of a sudden you pull them away because you're worried about the broodlings. Now you're losing minerals through those seconds. So if you add up all those seconds of how much a drone will pull, you
Mm.
might be being very cost efficient with your evolution chamber, not just with denying gas, but also denying mining time at the very last minute
Oh,
and
absolutely.
scouting.
Absolutely. And what we do see now is a difference in builds here. We do see the lair really, really quick for Mathis here. Does it look like he's going to be going for potential Nidus play here? We don't see any extra gases, only two. As it's two gases, I generally think this could be. Let's have a look at the gas. So it could actually be Spire, but he needs the extra two gases. So I'm really
Yeah.
confused. It's got to be Roaches here. It's got to be Roaches and a Nidus as we see the Roach Warren. And the Zerglings come in. They could kill this Queen. Oh, he's making a bit of indecisive movements here, is Epitaph. Oh, two bandits coming in. Oh!
Oh, reaction.
6 kills go down at the moment. 27 workers, 236. More lings are streaming across the map here. And it looks like Quasi wants to try and end this game. Oh my god, the wall is going to open up. He's going to kill the Queen.
We got 2 roaches, though. That's going to be able to...
Man, this is trouble. The wall's broken. The wall has broken. Another spine crawler's the only thing left. He has to pull workers here. Mathis is in so much trouble. He has to kill every single one of these lings, but he's going to lose most of his drones. The roaches are doing a good job. The spine crawler's getting one kill after another, and I don't know whether he's going to hold Florencio.
I don't know, but they need... What is it? Mathis needs to keep those roaches in chokes. This is not happening as much, and he's getting surrounded. That could be less numbers.
13 workers going down. We do have a load of roaches now, so he should be able to slowly push his back. But how many workers are going to be going down here? 13 already, and their worker counts are even more. Lings are streaming across this map. If Mathis can get some sort of death ball of roaches here, maybe about 15 or 20, he can start to push his back, but he's losing workers left, right, and centre.
Oh, yeah, he's got that whole position with the lings. That was good. He's really after these drones. This is all he has to do. Kill the drones. He'll be able to flood the roaches eventually. But there is a lot of roaches. If we can hold on, maybe we might be able to do a counter.
21 workers have gone down. Mathis is holding on to the ropes here. Remember, if he loses this game, he's out of the tournament. That's it. That's how cutthroat it is here. Spinecrawler with 19 kills. That is the MVP for this game. I believe Roach Speed is done. +1 is done. Florencio, what are we thinking? Epitaph is now behind in terms of army value, and he's made 12 more drones.
Oh, not good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is gonna be a potential counter. Now it's up to Mathis to go for the heart or take too much time trying to take out the third, and letting Epitaph much counter him by getting spine crawlers. I'd probably get lings and spine crawlers at the moment, and getting queens, whatever I can get right now, because roaches, things are not gonna do too much, especially clumped up.
And right now, what we do see, 64 supplied to 60. I mean, Mathis is just allowing Epitaph to get these roaches out. That's not a good idea, but he does have +1. And these roaches are going to slowly get trickled down here. Mathis needs to go and end it here. It's 30 workers to 44. The workers are being pulled. Florencio, this could be another win, another loss. GG's been called.
This is done. Mathis takes it.
What? After that huge amount of aggression, we then just saw loads of roaches being made move across the map, and he ended the game.